Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing all of my favorite books that I've read this year so far in 2023. So I've only just returned back since January. I have to be honest with you, I didn't really love the idea of filming an individual video for every month of all the books that I've read so far. Just because it's too far into the year and I don't think people would be like, oh, all the books that Charlotte read in March, let's watch that. Like, you never know. I know you never know, but I just personally think it would be a bit of a waste of my time. So I thought, why not just put all of my favorite books that I've read this year so far in the one video, and then I can just keep going from there. So yeah, I'm so sorry for my absence. I've been on and off mentally dealing with some things this year and physically as well, and it's set me back quite a bit, but I really want to just get back into the swing of things, enjoy my time on YouTube, booktube specifically. I'm really enjoying all of the reading that I've been doing. I had a massive book slump, like a massive one. I'm talking like in the course of 2 months, I remember I only read like maybe 2 or 3 books. Like that was such a hard month for me, hard 2 months for me, sorry. But I'm now starting to get back into the swing of things. Been listening to a bit of audiobooks on Audible and also doing a lot of reading. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Pose for the thumb. Okay, so I actually don't know how many books I've got in my hand right now. There's not much, but thought we could just get started with these. So I want to tell you guys all about my thoughts and the ratings that I've given for all these books. Some of these ratings I have since wanted to change, so stick around for that. All right, so the first favorite book, I'm doing this all in order, by the way, of like everything I've read so far this year in the favorites though. So first favorite was Red, White and Royal Blue. I really enjoyed this. I loved both the movie and this. I found that in this I enjoyed a lot more of like the in-depth scenes and conversations and stuff we missed out on in the movie. Unfortunately, there was some that I was like, where did that go? Where was it? I was wanting to see that. But I did read this in January and I don't want to give it too much away, but I ended up giving this 4.5 stars. It wasn't a 5 for me. This was my first Casey McQuiston book that I've ever read. I think it's the only as well. But I just wanted to get stuck into this. I thought this is probably the first and best Casey McQuiston book that you could possibly read. So I thought, why not read it first? It was such a great way to start off this year. You know what I mean? Okay, second favorite book of the year is A Quarter Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. I absolutely loved this book. It is literally sitting at the same rating, the same energy, oh my god, as A Court of Mist and Fury, the second book in this series, with a different main character of this book. So, with a different main character. So that one was Feyre and Rhysand, and now this one is Cassian and Nesta. Oh god, it's been a while. I gave this 5 stars. I can't actually talk much about this because this is, I think, the 5th. This is the 5th book in the series. It was amazing. As you can probably imagine, most fantasy books have a lot of war and world building. There's all of that. And we've passed quite a few storylines, story plots and everything in the other books, the previous books. This is just incredible. And I'm so glad I also have this cover version instead of the grey one. A lot of my friends, they had obviously read the series way before I did, and they have the older versions of these books. I definitely need to reread. I need to reread the whole series again this year. I think I want to dissect the book. I never annotated any of the books, so now I really want to annotate them. I was just speed reading through all of these because I was like, oh, these are a bit chunky. Don't know if because I feel like when I annotate books and it takes so much time and energy. Speaking of annotating and taking time, the next book, I actually did annotate this. I didn't tab it, but I'm going to reread it one day after I read all the other books in the series. So the next book is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I actually gave this a 3.5 stars originally, but the whole time while I was reading it, I was like, this is definitely a 5-star worthy book. But the reason why I gave 3.5 stars was because I was so intoxicated by their toxicity. Like, I was genuinely gobsmacked with how toxic their love relationship is between BJ Valentine and Magnolia Parks. I found they were just crazy. But at the same time, I just think out of every book that I've read this year, this book is the most poetic. Like, Jessa Hastings' writing is incredible, and I am definitely changing my star rating back to 5 stars. I'm excited because in my next video, you'll see I'm talking about all the books that I want to read that are left on my physical TBR card. So, and the next book is the Daisy Hates book. I still haven't read it. It's a chunky babes. But yeah, pretty much I can go into a small depth about it. So you want to think Gossip Girl, but set in England. Not only is the cover so appealing, I feel like it's very symbolic at the same time. If you kind of look closely, you can see there's a lot of art in this. So there's obviously the big tree. I literally cannot tell you absolutely anything in this book because it all has meaning. Every single thing that's on this cover has meaning, and it's all a spoiler, so I can't give anything away. But if you can see, there is a crest in the center. There is a deer and a wolf. You can kind of guess who the deer and the wolf would be relationship-wise. Anyway, so yeah, I absolutely loved this book. It was genuinely life-changing, as in, like, just, I feel like I could inject her writing into my veins. Like, we're gonna have to go in. Yeah, so I underlined everything that I loved, like anything that I just loved reading. Like the first page, I'm just underlining things, and at first, I think I still went back, like after finishing it, I went back and I tried to do bits more of my annotating of, like, because it's dual point of view, so you've got Magnolia's point of view. I did most of, like, my favorite, like, just like general, like, plot things that I wanted to underline all in grey lead, and then, like, major things that I really liked were in an orange fine liner, and then I highlighted underneath the lines in, like, a purple on certain things, like, I love his eyes, I hate his eyes, I miss you, I still love you, like the feelings. And then I also circled, like, really interesting words to me, like ghoulishly, sheepishly, like on every page that I could find while I was reading. I was circling things where I was like, ooh, like Dom Perignon Rosé, ceremoniously, distasteful. So this book I just will never want to get rid of. Like, this whole series, I already know. Like, I'm already assured that it's going to be fantastic. Oh, yeah, and, like, I was writing, like, my own little, like, side notes and stuff. Like, I hated BJ. I just hated him. But at the same time, you still love him, which is annoying. So anytime it was him, I would underline in, like, a fine line of blue. And I would still highlight in the purple, like, my, favorite quotes of things. Even I wish I was a better man. And then me commenting, she's mine, and go, oh, okay. Oh my God, I was so mean to him while I was reading this. Clusterfuck, I circled. Chemise, is that how you say it? And then, like, Valentine's Day is my birthday too. And then I, like, write little things on the side. I probably, like, I wanted to add, like, actual tabbed, like, sticky notes and put them in. So I'll do that again next time I read it. Okay, so the next book I read, this has to be so far, I think, my favorite book that I've read this year, still to this date. It is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I gave this obviously a 5 stars. It was a very quick read. I read it in about a day and a bit. Oh, excuse me, I just burped. It's a very different love story to what I usually read. I was not expecting this. I kind of went into it blind. Like, I didn't really read the blurb at all. I read, like, the first thing. I was just like, okay, her main character's name is Emma. And then she's got this husband already, but she's already met this other bloke. You know what I mean? Things turn pear-shaped. Obviously on the blurb, this isn't a spoiler, but Jesse, the guy that she married, he went missing on a helicopter flight. while traveling on I think it's their 1 year wedding anniversary. It's been so long since I read this. Yeah, and it's tragic. It's so tragic. And you see her mourning and grieving. And then eventually you see her rebuilding herself. Like, you know, so much time has passed. She still thinks about Jessie to the day, you know. And then I can't really say much more, but it's just so beautiful. Like, I was literally like chewing on my fingers. I was like, it was a nail biter. I was like genuinely so invested in this book. I had to know. And I remember, like, I'm the type of person that loves her sleep so much. Like, I need to sleep. Otherwise, I'm a grizzly bear the rest of the day. I'm such a grumpy girl most times. Even when I wake up in the morning, I'm a bit grumpy still. But sleep is so important to me. I was reading this book and I read this in the deepest, dankest, darkest parts of the night. Like, it was hitting 3 a.m. I was like, I just need to finish this book. And then I was sitting in bed like crying at the end, like fucking like choking on my tears. It was pretty tragic. But it was such a good book. Like, I feel like I want to inject this into my veins as well. Like, Taylor Jenkins freaking Reid knows what she's doing. She has to be one of the best writers in this day and age at the moment. I am not exaggerating, and I want all of my future children to read all of her shit, because every book that I've read of her so far has just ticked all of my boxes. Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, so the next book that I read, this was another favorite. As I said, all of these books are favorites, but it was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This is the third book in the series. It is by far one of the best movies and books. I just can't get over it. Like, the aesthetic of this book, like, my personal opinion, out of all the aesthetics in all the movies, Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite aesthetic, as in, like, you know, the camera quality, the scenes, the ambience, the music, the characters, like Sirius Black and Remus, them all being there. Oh my God, I could literally, like, this book also, this whole story needs to, I feel like I want it tattooed on me. I absolutely adore it so, so, so much. And please understand, I'm not supporting J.K. Rowling with my words right now. I do not support that woman. It's a tough situation being a person that is obsessed with Harry Potter, and I will always be to the day I die. I was born into this freaking universe with Harry Potter as a part of me. And it's just unfortunate that the creator has gone down a very nasty path with their views, and it's not nice. So I just wanted to make sure and assure all of you guys that I do not support anything that she does, anything she says as well. Okay, so anyway, we can just disregard her. When I think about Harry Potter, I never even think about her. Anyway, so yeah, this book, it was a 5-star for me. It is by far one of the best, and I'm not even joking. On all of my dating profiles, I always have like a poll, and it says, pick the best Harry Potter book or pick the best Harry Potter movie, and everyone is always saying Prisoner of Azkaban by far, or they'll say Goblet of Fire, and I'm always like, you're right, like, you're actually right. Anyway, so here we go. Moving on. Okay, so this was my first Jennifer Lynn Barnes book, and I was absolutely blown away. Like, the second that I started, I think it was like maybe the first 3 chapters, once she met Grayson, I was like, oh, I really like this. And you know how in most books, like, most of the main characters are quite insufferable? To me, Avery is not insufferable. And I'm also actually currently reading the 3rd and final book in that series now. It's taken me a bit of time. I'm really slow at the moment. But so yeah, this is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I gave this a 5 stars. I thought it was absolutely incredible. It's the best YA mystery not fan fiction. It's the best YA fiction book, and it doesn't have any fantasy. There's a little subplot of romance, but I was getting off on the mystery. I was like, oh, this is just fantastic. I was like, why is she involved in this situation? Why is she here? And you're just unlocking everything. And if you're a fan of the movie Knives Out and the Glass Onion movie as well, like, you have to, oh my God, you have to read these books. There's 3 books in the series. I've currently read both the first 2. on to the third and final, and I don't want it to end. That's why I'm slowly reading it, because I'm just like trying to savor as much as I can. I do not want it to end. It is just so fantastic. You guys have to get on it. Pretty much it's about this girl, Avery, and her mother has recently passed away, and she is in the loving care of her half sister Libby. And pretty much one day she's at school and she gets called in the office, and some beautiful, gorgeous man who's a little bit older than her is saying, oh, you've been summoned, like, we got to catch a plane. I'm part of this big family. There's something going on with the will, pretty much. Like, if I don't want to give too much spoilers away. Okay, then she goes over there and she's meeting everyone, and everyone's like pretty hostile in the family. They've got some sort of hostility, even if it's just like being obsessive, brooding, I don't know, or they're just nasty. Pretty much it's just a fantastic book. Oh my God. And you want to picture, I'm sorry, I just wanted to say one thing. You want to picture, what's her name? Alyssa. I think it's Alyssa. Look, I can't remember, but there's this one chick who's like really, really, like, we love her. She's the best, and is very helpful for Avery in the books. And you want to picture Cami Mendes, you know, the girl who plays Veronica in Riverdale. You need to picture her as that character. I think her name's Alyssa. I've completely forgotten. I can't believe I'm literally reading it right now. But I'm also reading like 4 other books at the moment, so it's really hard for me to remember things. I need to stop doing that, I know. Anyway, so get on this book if you have not yet. I'm serious. You will, oh my God. I recommend it to everyone. I'm not even joking. Seriously. Okay. All right. So then obviously the next book is The Hawthorne Legacy. This is the second book. I can't give anything away of this book. This book, though, oh my God, it was just so good. It was, oh my God, the little subplot of romance that you get really excited for in the first book. It just goes nuts in the second book, and it's fucked. It's so good. I loved it. I loved it so much. This was also a 5-star. Get on it. Jennifer Lynn Barnes, you are incredible. Oh my God. Okay, so the next book is City of Bones, the Shadowhunters Mortal Instruments. So this is the Mortal Instruments series, and the first book is City of Bones, and it's the Shadowhunters series. Okay, so this is by Cassandra Clare. I absolutely love Cassandra Clare. I've only actually read the first book ever. I have the entire rest of the series I need to get through this year. Better do that quick, honestly. Like, I want to know what happens, because I don't want to sit and watch the TV show that's on Netflix. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I just personally don't think it's my cup of tea. I tried it. I really, really did try. But I'm sorry, if you're the type of person that has become so obsessed for over 10 years of the actual movie version of this, oh my God, you cannot possibly sit through the TV show. It's just not as good. It's really not. I'm not even exaggerating, guys. Like, it's just, the movie is incredible. It stars Lily Collins and Jamie Campbell Bower and what's his name? I think it's he or they. They are in, oh my God, what's the TV show? The Umbrella Academy, I think it's called. Yeah. It is just amazing. But anyway, so I read the book. I gave it a 4.5 stars because I just feel like I just feel like the movie is better. Like, I'm sorry, the movie just was so much better. I was expecting things. There was the smallest, tiniest little differences from the movie to this book, but it was still incredible. I need to read 5 more. So this is City of Bones. Then the next one is City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire. And then there is the Clockwork Angel books, which is still a part of the Shadowhunters series. It just keeps going on. And there's, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess, and then the Shadowhunters Codex, the Bane Chronicles. So pretty much, I want to sell this to you guys. Like, it's so good. Okay, so it's pretty much about this girl. Her name is Clary, and she has got a lot of blockages in her mind, right? She lives with her mum in this apartment building in Manhattan. I think it's in, Manhattan. Manhattan, New York. I think that's where it is. I don't know. I'm not really good at geography. Anyway, so she's living there, and she's just so, I just think she's such a beautiful character. She's also another character that I don't think is insufferable as the main character. Her best friend Simon is pining over her secretly. And yeah, pretty much she's waking up some mornings or doing some things where she's like constantly drawing this symbol that she can't get out of her head. And the reason why is because she has a family full of lots of secrets, and I can't really unravel anymore because it's going to be a spoiler, but she ends up meeting these shadow hunters. At first, she's like, she just thinks they're evil killers, but shadow hunters are another term for like demon killers. And it is definitely a fantasy book, but it's still got a lot of like human stuff. It's not like full on world building. It's still set in like Manhattan, and there's places that these shadow hunters live that are like off in different borders and stuff. But the group of shadow hunters that she's met in this series are like the only shadow hunters that are in that town at the time. Her mum, it has a lot of secrets, as I said, so I don't really want to spoil anything else, but there is a bit of subplot romance, and it's going to kind of kill you at the same time as well. But I just think it's fantastic. It's so beautiful. Definitely watch the movie as well. I personally think you should watch the movie. No, I'm going to say you need to read this first and then watch the movie, or do the other way around, whatever. And let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this whole story, I've only known the first movie ever because they didn't continue making them, I think, because, I don't know, maybe it got cancelled, but I do know that both Jamie and Lily were dating at the time, and then they're obviously not now, which is really sad because, like, they were my OTP at the time. I'm not even joking. Yeah, so it is just fantastic. It's got werewolves, it's got demons, it's got mundanes, which are just like normal humans, and it's got shadow hunters. Next book I read, I gave this a 4-star. When I was younger, I gave this a 5-star. I just personally think the movie is just, because I'm an actress, I genuinely am so fixated on just like my vision of the movie, and I'm obsessed, literally obsessed with Jennifer Lawrence. I love her so much. She is one of my absolute favorite actors in this whole universe. I really look up to her, like, because not only is she a really funny and comedic character, she can also be a really serious character, a really strong character. Not only that, she can do everything, which is crazy. Anyway, so I've just given it away. Hunger Games. I gave this a 4 stars. I think this is the book that I was reading while I was in the slump. Like, it took me over a month to read this, and that's just not like me. It just took me so long. I was planning on annotating it, but I was just like, I can just read it another time. But yeah, I do want to get through the rest of the Hunger Game books this year. It'll be really good because Catching Fire is my absolute favorite out of all of them. The second book, I'm not usually that type of person to like steer away from the original. I'm always like a very original girl, like, as in like, I'll always like the first thing, you know. But when it comes to both the Hunger Games and Twilight, the second movies are my favorite. I don't know why, it just is. So yeah, really good. Loved this. Hunger Games is by Suzanne Collins. It's a very fast-paced book. It actually is. What my favorite parts of the book, actually, surprisingly, like after reading this, my favorite parts of the book are when they're prior to going to the games, because when they're in the games, I wasn't really feeling it, but in the movie, I'm like the other way around. I'm like obsessed with them in the games onwards. But yeah, I was really enjoying rereading, because this is a reread for me since I think I was like turning 14 when I first watched the movie and read the books. Yeah, and I just genuinely really loved like when they're on the train going there and like learning about each other's past, and yeah, right. It's just incredible. So yeah, really good. Gave this a 4 stars though, but still, it's obviously a 5-star. I was just kind of like not feeling it at the time, which sucks, but it's still one of my favorites. Okay, moving on to like one of my all-time favorites of this year. Like, she's runner-up. She is runner-up. I just revealed it. This is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I absolutely loved it. I feel like I could also inject this book into my veins as well. Emily Henry just knows what she's doing. She is incredibly smart and intelligent and wonderful and show-stopping and amazing. I could go on. I love Emily Henry. Like, I'm actually in love with her. I'm not joking. Like, romantically, she can write romantic, so obviously she's a romantic person, surely. Oh my god, I just love her so much. So yeah, pretty much this is about two exes, and they have a pact together to pretend that they're still together. They are in a shared friendship group together since their college days, and they're invited over for like the last time, going to this same lake house. I think it's a lake house. It's been a while since I've read this. Yeah, and they make this pact, and they're pretending to still be together, and your feelings arise, yada, yada, yada. Conflicts, working out why they were the way they were at the time, building each other's trust again, so on and so forth. It was just incredible. I just love, like, the conversations. She really hits the nail on the head, like, in terms of conversations with the characters. Like, I absolutely love all the conversations the two protagonists have in all of her books. She just knows what she's doing, like, because you can read novels and it's a bit too cheesy, but she's just got the right amount of cheese. Sometimes it's not even cheesy. Sometimes it's literally just perfect. Sometimes you don't even need the cheese. But honestly, I can't even deal. Like, you guys have to read this. It was a 5-star. She's a chunky girl, but I loved it. I will highly recommend this to anyone. It was incredible. Not long left to go. Really exciting. Okay, so the next book I read was I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I honestly said to myself prior to reading this, I was like, okay, this is a book that you shouldn't rate because it's her own personal story. And I said to myself, I was like, all right, fine. Like, I'm not going to rate this, but if this ends up feeling like a 5-star, I'm going to give it a 5-star. And I gave it a 5-star. She is amazing. And I just cannot believe how incredible this woman is. Like, I looked up to her since the moment I saw her on iCarly, but I didn't even realize, like, all of the trauma that she had with her disorders and, sorry, trigger warning, with all of the shit that was going on in her life with her mum and people that she was working with. I just genuinely do not want to give this away, but you have to read this, guys, if you really want a good non-fiction book. And I'm the type of girly that will never set foot in a non-fiction section at any bookstore. I'm just not that type of person unless it is a self-help book that's really cute and I'm purchasing it for someone else, you know what I mean? But in saying that, I do have quite a few self-help witchy books and like tarot stuff because I am really into that. I was really into that in my past. Like when we were first in lockdown, I was crazy. I wasn't crazy. I was amazing, but it was fun. Anyway, this is an important cultural document. You guys, like, it was so entertaining and heartbreaking at the same time. That's all I'm going to say. I just found it was really good. She's really good with her writing as well. Really good. I'm so excited. Okay, so this next book, it was my first ever thriller mystery fiction book. It is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I was like really trying so hard to not like Pip Fitzamobi, but I actually really liked her. I just love Pippa Fitzamobi, and I love Ravi. My favorite character in all the books is Ravi. Ravi is, I can't say too much because it's going to give a spoiler away of the first book specifically, but Ravi becomes into Pip's life. Subplot a romance somewhere along the 3 books. The first book I think is definitely the best book out of all the 3 books I've read. She literally is doing a police officer's job. Like, she is in her last year of school, high school, and she's just giving her all, trying to, like, because she just believes that whoever was the person, quote unquote, that killed Andy Bell, she believed that they were the whole time innocent. And she uncovers a lot of dirt, a lot of stuff. She meets a lot of people along the way. She's a very brave girl. And I cannot get over how amazing she is. So I just think it's incredible. Holly Jackson really knows how to reel these people in, and I'm excited because on my second video that's coming up after this is my physical TBR cart for the rest of the year, and I have a 5 Survive, I think it is, by Holly Jackson that I'm really excited to read. I'm hoping it's a little more scarier than this because I froth, I froth horror. But obviously it's not. It's probably a mystery / thriller vibe, but still really cute. Yeah, gave this a 5 star. This is genuinely a 5 star. It could be a 6. Like, it's pushing it. She's so good. Can't say anything more. Okay, I am so in love. Like, I'm still set in this aesthetic right now. Like, country vibes, just, oh my god. Okay, I'm just so excited. I have the whole rest of the series ready and it's sitting in my cart, and I'm really willing to like skip all of my books and make sure I just read all of them back to back, but at the same time probably shouldn't do that. I should probably like just let it keep unraveling throughout the year so I don't have to just like, because this is what happened to me when I was like watching Daisy Jones and the Six. Like, I read the book and then like 1 month later the TV show came out and I binged the whole TV show in, I think it was like 1 or 2 days. Yeah, and then I was listening to the music for like 2 more weeks, and then I haven't even thought about it. Well, I think about it, but I haven't even like gone back into it all. Like, it breaks my heart, you know? So it's definitely something I'm willing to get back into. But yeah, I think just the best thing for me would be to just drag it out, you know, so that I can really just relish in this for the rest of the year. Okay, so this is Flawless by Elsie Silver. It is part of the Chestnut Springs series. I gave this a 5 star because I just genuinely felt, I was looking for something, I was looking for a romance book, and I was like, oh my god. And I was really craving, there was this one night when me and my cousin, who's my roommate at the same time, we were like, let's watch a movie. And he wanted to watch Harry Potter. And I'm usually the type of person that goes, yeah, let's fucking go, let's watch Harry Potter. But I was craving the whole day to just do a little country spin. I was like, I want to just pop it and lock it and polka dot it. We put on the Hannah Montana movie and I was just instantly like, my heart was like, I think I've just been pulled in a completely new universe of country stuff. Now, anyway, so this was a 5 star book. This is starring Summer and Rhett, and it's pretty much about this guy, Rhett, who's a bull rider. He's famous in his town for bull riding. He kind of just gets a little silly. He does something silly, and his manager is like, that's it, I've got a plan. You're going to come and meet me at this meeting. Long story short, he goes in and Summer is sitting there at the table with her dad. And he says, you're going to need a babysitter, someone to kind of accompany you through the rest of your tour, like going and doing all your competitions. And she's just going to straighten you up a bit, you know what I mean? Like, you need to be put on a tight leash. And we all know where it's going, you know what I mean? We all know. And it was hot. It was sexy. It was fun. It was electric. I was like I ate this book up in a whole day. I was like, I just inhaled it. It was fantastic. It was a little cheesy. And there was some sex scenes where I was like, oh! I was like, okay. I was like, all right, you did that. I see you. But I was like, I will do that too. Like, I'm the type of person, like, oh my God. It is so hot. There's this one thing, and I'm not even going to, like, spoil it, but it's got something to do with a cowboy hat and, like, the rules in their town based on the cowboy hat. And if you wear it, yada, 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 bedtime. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything else. But it's so cute. It's so cute. It's so fun. And when I was reading this, the whole time I was listening to instrumental country music, and I was dying. And I'm back on my Fearless journey and back on my Red journey at the moment, and a little bit of Evermore and folklore all mixed in one, and I'm feeling really like, country girl, shake it for me, girl, shake it for me. I'm just like, you know, I can't even deal with myself. No, but it's so fun, and I'm looking forward to it, because apparently the second book is even better, and I'm like, can you get any better than this, Flawless? You're flawless. The next one is called Heartless, and I think they all star like all the family member boys, and like one of the best friends. I don't know. Everyone's linked. It's pretty cool. Yeah, like all of the books are linked, which is so exciting. I think. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, 5 stars. Elsie Silver. First Elsie Silver book that I read this year. Fantastic. Started off strong. Okay, so I have 2 more books after this last one that you're going to see, but I don't have the physical copies of them. I listened to them on audiobook. Okay. Anyway, all right. So I have Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Look at how worn out this book is. It's so fun. Like, it's low-key. It's had a lovely time. It's had a lot of reading. Yeah, so I did a reread again, gave it 5 stars. Can't say too much if you haven't read Harry Potter at all or watched the movies. I mean, most people in this world have. But it was just fantastic. This is the 4th book in the series. The 3rd, the 4th, and the last are my favourites. So yeah, really fantastic. See this dragon? I have that same dragon on my hip as a tattoo. And I just think it's really cute. It's really cool. Yeah, there's a lot that goes on in this book. There was so, and can I just say as well, like in all the books, there's so much missing in the movies, and it breaks my heart because I'm always like, imagine if that was in the movies, you know what I mean? Like, it would be so cool. Like, you can really see, like, you know how when Harry has those dreams, but they're actual, like, visions of, you know, how Harry and Voldemort are linked in some way. That's not really a spoiler, but you see, like, his dreams, what he's having about certain people in danger, or like what their plans are and stuff. Like, you can really, like, it's all in depth, which is so fun. I just love it. Okay, so yeah, 5 stars. We love Harry Potter and the Gob. The next 2 books, I want to have it here or here, so I'm just going to quickly explain. The second last book of my favorites is The Housemaid. Who's it by? The Housemaid. I've forgotten. I'll put it right here. I'm so sorry. I read The Housemaid and it was incredible. It's one of my absolute favorite books. Wait, let me just also reiterate. So, you know how earlier I was like, my first place book of my favorites this year right now goes to One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And then the second runner-up was Happy Place by Emily Henry. And the third, actually right now, where did it go? And the third was Flawless by Elsie Silver. So that's the 3. It could definitely change though, guys. Like, by the end of the year, when I say like what all my favorite books are, it might change, but you might still see those books still, which is really exciting. Okay, yeah, so I read The Housemaid and it was incredible. It was a 5 star. I read it in a literal like day. It took me, I think, 5-ish hours to read it. 6, I'm saying 6. And I just read it the entire time. I was like, it was so good. It was so good. It was about this lovely girl who's just gotten out of prison. I can't even remember why. I cannot remember. It's been a while. And pretty much she is looking for a job. It's so hard to get a job when you've just come out of prison. And she gets this housemaid job and a lot happens. You want to picture the wife of this housemaid job. You want to picture like the mum of that house as the girl from Gone Girl. I think that's her name. I think that's the name of the movie. And she's blonde and that movie is crazy. It's so cool. And she disappears and tries to blame a lot on her husband, yada, yada, yada. It's crazy. But anyway, you want to picture her because that's who I pictured the whole time. And I forgot the other girl's name. The main girl, oh my God, I've forgotten her name. You want to picture the girl that is also the main character in the TV show on Netflix, Maid. And she's also in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She's also in... I can't think of the rest. Her mum's a really famous actress as well. They're incredible, both of them. Yeah, she's like the main character in my eyes. And then I was picturing the whole time the husband to be the husband of all of the Conjuring movies. You know how like both the wife and the husband, they are like they see the ghosts and like paranormal and shit like that, and they're like uncovering things. And yeah, I pictured that main husband guy as like the husband of this book. It was crazy, guys. Like, it was such a massive plot twist at the end. Like, you thought, like, I was generally like, oh my god, like, this is ending now, cool. Then another like 100 pages left. No, it was more than that. There was like so much more, and the story flipped, and I was like, oh, I was genuinely, my jaw was dropped, and it was dropped for the entirety, the rest of it, just staying there. It was crazy. And even like the very last page with the last like two things that the last two people say, I'm like, oh my god, it's just mind-blowing, and I need to read the second book like ASAP. And last but not least, I read As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I'm also going to put it right here on the screen. I don't have the physical copy of it because I listened to the audiobook. And mind you as well, oh my god, so if you go into Audible and you've got credits, buy all of those Holly Jackson books, because the actors that are playing all those characters and reading, and the author, oh my god, so good. Hands down. Like, and then you can put it on speed mode as well. I usually put it on 1.75 or 2.05, depending on how I'm feeling on the day. But anyway, oh my god, it was so good. I can't say anything because it's the third and final book of the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, but it's pretty much the ending of the whole series. So much shit is unraveled. It's crazy. I was genuinely gobsmacked. I was listening to it while I was driving. I was listening to it while I was around the house, just like walking around. I did not stop until it was finished. No exaggeration there. Like, every time I was on my way to work, I was listening to it. It's just crazy. On my way home from work, going to the shops. Oh, it's just incredible, guys. You have to read it. You have to read that whole series if you haven't. Can't say anything else because obviously it's a ending of a series, so that's just going to give away too much. But that is it from me today. That is all of my favorite books of 2023 so far that I have read. Stay tuned for more videos to come that are similar. My next one is going to be my physical TBR cart, so stay tuned for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. Have a great day or night wherever you guys are, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.